Welcome back, Digitally Twisted Outlaws. We are here again to continue our review of the Return of Wolverine series. And today we're going to review comic number 2. Now, first thing I want to point out about this comic is that the art style did take a bit of a nosedive. Granted, things cost money. All artists need some love, some work. But if you're going to revive a series or really try to kickstart it, I don't think you should do that by cutting back on the number one thing that people go to comics for. The illustration. And as you can see here, I give you a little example. The art style just kind of, it plunged down. Its value definitely went south. Also, you can see here, they're continuing with the heat induction of Wolverine's claws. A mutant power that I don't really think he needed. It's kind of dumb, and it's only really useful if he wants to, set things on fire like he does in this issue, or if he wants to bust out his claws and he's, claw to claw with another mutant that also has adamantium because, one mutant can't just have adamantium. They all need to have adamantium. And his gets super hot and he can, slice through their claws or he can set things on fire. It's it's really kind of dumb. And it's if you're going to revive Wolverine, why don't you give him a mutant power, that you actually take, I don't know, maybe a week, at least a day, to kind of think about, get a whole boardroom together. You guys need to talk about and discuss it because this doesn't really up the strength of Wolverine. It kind of just, brings, molecules and science and, physics into the whole scheme of things. And that's not really necessary. I would prefer seeing a superpower where Wolverine gets something that actually allows him to compete or makes him even more complex at a higher level. So he can compete against those Magneto or Professor Xavier, something like that. Maybe not to that level, but close to it, Because let's be honest, Wolverine's is my most favorite Marvel character. But when it comes to mutants that have high energy capacity or, telekinesis or control metal or have just powers that just generate lots of energy, he has a bit of a hard time. Wolverine's more like a threat to all of humanity. All right, so as you can see right here, they continue with the heat induction clause. It is what it is. He's on a boat. On this comic issue, he is on a boat, and I got it right here in front of me, so I'm not just reading off the internet. In this episode, he's on a boat the entire time, and he's chasing down Anna's son and those that kidnapped him, the weird group called Sotira, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. We also can, as you can see, continue with kind of his dive into his psyche, where he's going with it. And we start seeing glimpses of the dark corner of Wolverine's mind. So they're continuing again with his loss of memory, kind of playing off the old rule book of what works best for Wolverine, his mystery, his past. And we see a few more characters that we can see. One of it being just absolutely berserker Logan that just completely loses his mind, is out of control. And in this scene, you can see he's just waiting to get out, he's gonna break free. Is Wolverine gonna lose control and just go absolutely crazy? I don't know, we'll have to find out. But one of the characters that do come around, and you can see Wolverine fighting here, you can kind of tell, at least you guys that are hardcore fans of Wolverine, you can kind of tell with his claws. Yep, that is Daken, this guy right here. Now, Daken is the son of Wolverine through the Japanese woman Itsu that Wolverine has obviously a little tryst with. I don't think he was as close to her as he was with Mariko, but from what I understand, there's also multiple Earths and whatnot that are going around in the Marvel Universe that I haven't been able to keep up with. So I'm not trying to profess to be a Marvel, fanatic or a Marvel hardcore fan or a Marvel guru, but I do at least understand old Wolverine, old Logan, and I really enjoy reading up these new comics and seeing where he's going at these days. So Daken's kind of his, I don't want to use the word bastardized, but probably more correct, bastardized son that basically took it away from Wolverine after his mother was killed, and this Daken was ripped out of the womb of his mother Itsu and then raised by somebody else. Supposedly this was occurring at a time when the Winter Soldier was going out and trying to attack Wolverine or his lover Itsu and draw him out of hiding. But as always, that doesn't always go well for the attackers. Goes horribly for Wolverine's love interest, and then just causes more anxiety and misery and heart pain for our hero Wolverine. So he fights them. I'll let you guys figure out what happens with that fight, but I'm sure you can kind of guess what happens next. But they go toe to toe, and Wolverine kind of like uses his heated claws at one point to set Daken on fire. Hardcore, let me tell you. Nothing spells father and son reunion like a little bit of barbecue, everybody. Now, at the end of this comic, they review a little bit, kind of like what I was talking about last time. Like, where are all the rest of the X-Men? What are they doing? Are they still around? Are they still alive? And you see here that Jean Grey, who's looking awfully young, and Kitty Pryde, who's looking a little masculine. I don't know. She's got the new hairstyle going on. I guess that's popular. But then I'm used to the 90s Jean Grey, 90s Kitty Pryde, so you'll have to excuse me. But just basically, she's right here. Jean Grey is obviously in the X-Mansion. She's using Cerebro, and she's trying to find, like, just look around, and she found Logan. So that's kind of what ties the X-Men back into Wolverine's life. And I think in the third issue of The Return of Wolverine, we finally get to see where these X-Men are going. Now, I'll be honest, I think this issue kind of dragged. Like, Wolverine was on the boat the whole time. They gave a lot of, like, you know, exposition, like what's going on as Wolverine talks to Anna. A little more information about this Persephone person. Nothing really that groundbreaking. So I'm going to be kind of I recommend the first issue. That's fantastic. And then this one, like, only get this comic if you're getting it for, like, really cheap. Or, like, a bundle or something. That way, because you'll quickly read through it. You'll forget most of it. You'll just remember the scenes where he fights Daken. If you're a huge Daken fan, he has a little, obviously, you know, homage in there. And then you'll obviously get a little bit more insight on what's going on with Wolverine's psyche, and then more information on his heat induction claws, which, again, I think is a kind of a dumb superpower. Anyways, so that's my take on the Wolverine, Turner Wolverine number 2. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry I yelled in the microphone last time, but, you know, gotta mix it up a little bit. Sometimes when you mix it up a little bit, you don't do the best job. So, till next time, I'll see you outlaws later.